Yeah, hi, this is Gautam. So welcome back. So in this video, we'll analyze and value a small Indian company which is called Radiant Cash Management Services. Okay. So this company, this is like less than 1,000 CR worth of market cap company. Okay. And we'll essentially look at five aspects uh, uh, in this session. One is we'll look at their business, कि ये company करती क्या है. दूसरा कि we'll estimate the total addressable market of this company. Okay. And then third, we'll also look at what portion of this addressable market can this company acquire, say, over the next 5 years. कि कितना revenue basically ये company कर सकती है 5 साल में. Okay. And then towards the end, we'll value this company using discounted cash flow methodology. All right. Okay. So let's start. All right. So business, पहले business समझते हैं. See, ऐसे समझाते हैं. Let's say there is a retailer, Big Bazaar. Okay. एंड बिग बाजार का अकाउंट है आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में. okay? तो आईसीआईसीआई बैंक बोलेगा इस कंपनी को, रेडिएंट कैश मैनेजमेंट को, कि बिग बाजार जो भी धंधा करेगा पूरे दिन में उससे ऑब्वियसली कुछ कैश कलेक्ट करेगा. ओके. सो रेडिएंट कैश मैनेजमेंट, सो दिस कंपनी वुड गो टू बिग बाजार टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द डे एंड कलेक्ट कैश. जो भी बिजनेस किया है वो कैश जाके आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में डिपॉजिट कर देगा. और इस सर्विस के लिए आईसीआईसीआई बैंक इन रिटर्न दे गिव देम अ फी फॉर दिस कैश पिकअप एंड डिलीवरी. ओके. ऑलराइट. तो ये चीज करने के लिए, ये सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर, इस सर्विस से, इस कैश पिकअप एंड डिलीवरी सर्विस से दिस कंपनी मेक्स अराउंड 250 CR worth of revenue, which is around 67% of their overall revenue. Okay. So that is one. In fact, let me share my screen. Okay. So what I just described is cash pickup and delivery. तो बैंक ज्यादातर बैंक्स पे करते हैं इनको इस सर्विस के लिए. Okay. This is cash pickup and delivery. Then the next one is network cash management. Let's say if Big Bazaar is in a very remote area and ICICI doesn't have a branch over there. Okay, so what this company will do is it will still go and collect cash from Big Bazaar. Okay, but instead of depositing that physical cash, okay, in ICICI Bank, okay, they will deposit in their own account. Okay, and electronically transfer, okay, money into ICICI Bank. Okay. तो और in exchange, in return, they'll charge a small fee. ठीक है. All right. तो which is called network cash management. And again, इस फी के लिए भी इस सर्विस के लिए भी they charge banks say a small fee. All right. Okay. So this is network cash management. The third is cash processing. Cash processing में, as it's stated, cash is counted and verified at the time of pickup, as again sealed backup for an additional fee. Okay, so all these three services, they combine, they make around now 90% of their revenue, and this alone, cash pickup and delivery, is 2/3 of their overall revenue, 67%. Okay, all right. Then the next mota revenue segment is cash van operations, because at times these banks, okay, they need to move cash between the branches from one branch to the other. तो उसके लिए they also provide their services. तो एक cash van dedicate कर देंगे उसके लिए. okay? तो उससे जो revenue मिलेगा वो fall करेगा cash van operations के लिए. This is around 8% of their revenue right now, and they're kind of doubling down on this segment. Okay. Third segment, which is not there in this investor presentation, right? At least in this slide, is now they are foraying into the movement of diamond, bullion, and jewelry. Okay, so basically they are foraying into the movement of valuables as well. अभी तक केवल cash move कर रहे थे, लेकिन अब they have started to move ज्वेलरी, डायमंड्स एंड बुलियन एज वेल. ठीक है. तो उसके लिए जो इनके कस्टमर होंगे वो ज्वेलरी रिटेलर्स होंगे. okay? कि ज्वेलरी रिटेलर्स को अगर ज्वेलरी मूव करानी है या ज्वेलरी मंगवानी है, okay? किसी होलसेलर के यहाँ से, okay? So they can leverage this company, or already there are two organized players in this segment, and we'll get in that abhi thodi der mein. But so that's the third segment. Fourth segment, which again is not there in this slide, fourth revenue segment is recently they've acquired a fintech which is called Ace Money, which is based.
Right. So now let's estimate the total addressable market for retail cash management. Okay, so total addressable market for RCM, which we saw includes your cash pickup and delivery. Okay, and it also includes network cash management. It also includes cash processing, but let's not worry about very small things right now. So total addressable market. So abhi, what we saw is in India, okay, the total addressable organized retailers are around 30 lakh. Okay, all right. So if banks are able to tap all these retailers, let's say, okay, or put another way, okay, that cash management, these cash management services companies, they are able to provide their cash management services to all of these 30 lakh retailers. Okay, so the total market, अगर ऐसा होता है तो total market कितना होगा? 4,100 per retail outlet. Okay, so ये monthly revenue हो गया times 12. Okay, this is close to 15,000 CR. So the market, total addressable market, is around 15,000 CR. Okay. Now, as per a report by Frost and Sullivan, by FY27, okay, banks will be able to tap around 2.2 lakh retailers. That is, cash management services could be provided to 2.2 lakh retailers of this 30 lakh. Okay. और अभी ये नंबर क्या है? 2.2 lakh from 1.5 lakh today. So around 70,000 retailers would be able to leverage this service 3 years from now. Additionally, from 1.5 lakh today, as per Frost and Sullivan. So let's be a little conservative. Let's say, because usually these research companies, they, at times they are a little more conservative, than you would like them to be. Okay, so let's assume this happens, say, by FY29 instead of FY27. Okay, just to be conservative. Okay, and if that happens, okay, then let's estimate कि market कितना बड़ा बन जाएगा. Okay, so the market would be, the total market that would be acquired would be 2.2 lakh retailers times, let's say, 5 years out. We are talking about FY29. There'll be inflation. So these cash management companies would be able to charge higher per outlet, let's say 4,500. This is monthly now times 12. So this is close to 1,200 CR. तो मार्केट इतना बड़ा एक्चुअल में बन जाएगा जो लेवरेज करेगा इस सर्विस को. ऑलराइट, नाउ व्हाट वी सॉ राइट नाउ, the market share for Radiant Cash Management is 44% in terms of the number of retail outlets they serve. All right. So let's say that market share drops to 40%. From 44, it drops to 40%. So 40% of this 1,200 CR, okay, would be, this is 480, around close to 500 CR. So what this tells us is, 5 years from now, that is 5 years out, Radiant Cash Management would be able to make around 500 CR worth of revenue from retail cash, from this line of business. Okay, see right now, FY23 में, okay, FY23 में, from retail cash management, okay, they make around made around 327 CR worth of revenue. Okay, all right, 327 CR worth of revenue. So 5 years by FY, and we are in FY24. So by FY29, what we are saying is they would be at around 500 CR. Not a whole lot, not a huge jump at all. Okay, but let's be conservative. Okay, all right. So this is the what we have done here is this is the bottom up way. This is kind of a bottom up way of estimating the revenue from this business RCM. Okay, all right. Now let's look at a top down way of estimating revenue for retail cash management for Radiant. Okay, and see how far we are off from this 500 CR number. If this 500 CR number indeed is something that is reasonable. So abhi bottom up kar liya. Let's go top down to basically see कि हम कितने reasonable hai. All right. Okay. So let's allow me to open up my spreadsheet. All right. So now let's do a quick top-down estimation of the RCM segment revenue by 2019. That is, let's try to triangulate the bottom-up number of 500 CR that we arrived at. All right. Okay. So if you look at India ka GDP, it's around 4 trillion US dollars right now. So it could become around 6 trillion 5 years from now, as per many research reports. Okay. So 4 trillion right now is around 328 rupees trillion. Okay. Now 6 trillion USD 5 years from now would be, let's say, 88 ka exchange rate. And I'm not just making up the exchange rate. I actually looked up ki kitta ho sakta hai exchange rate. 88 ho sakta hai 83 from 83 today. Okay. So using that exchange rate, India ka GDP could be over 500 trillion rupees 5 years from now. Okay. And that's one metric. The other metric is currency in circulation in India. So currency in circulation in India right now, if you look at the annual report for this company, the currency in circulation in FY23 is around 33.78 or 34 lakh crore or 34 trillion of rupees. Okay. This makes around 12.3% of India ka GDP. Okay. All right. So that's what we have here. Okay. So agar 12.3% abhi hai, okay, and one thing more, look at China. In China, 10 years back in 2010 or 11 years or in 2010, China mein currency of circulation was 14% of GDP. Look at the note I have here. Okay. From 14% went down to 7% in 11 years. Okay. So percent of GDP 14%, so 7%, so there was a drop. But in absolute basis, currency in circulation actually increased. Okay. So India may could expect the same trend happening. So 5 years from now, perhaps this 12.3% of GDP currency in circulation may reduce to 10%. Okay. All right. तो अगर ऐसा हुआ 10% of GDP हो गया ये नंबर करेंसी इन सर्कुलेशन, तो टोटल करेंसी सर्कुलेशन एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में हो जाएगा 5.52.8 rupees trillion from 33.8 trillion. Okay. All right. Now this is second metric. The third metric is, now let's talk about Radiant. So Radiant ka currency in circulation, currency movement in trillion of rupees is 1.6 trillion rupees. How I got that number? That number is there in the investor presentation. I'm just pulling it up to show you. So this is the number. Okay, 1572 billion. Okay, which is like close to 1.6 trillion rupees. Okay, so this number is 4.73% of India ka currency in circulation. All right, so that's the third metric. Now, say this number reduces to 4.5% 5 years out, 5 साल बाद, okay? तो कितना हो जाएगा Radiant का currency in circulation would be 4.5% of India का currency in circulation. So around 2.4 trillion of rupees from 1.6 trillion of rupees today. Okay. All right. Now let's look at the fourth metric. Again, Radiant ka metric. RCM business say they made around 320 CR. Okay. All right. this 320 CR is actually 0.2%, only 0.2% of the total currency movement. So what I did, I divided 320, this 326.6 by 1.6 trillion, and I got this 0.20%. So the RCM revenue is 0.20%, 0.2% of this 1.6 trillion total cash movement by Radiant. Okay, so let's say 5 साल बाद भी ये इतना ही yield कमाएंगे, राइट? तो कितना रेवेन्यू कर लेंगे? So this 0.20% times Radiant का cash movement 5 years out, okay, would be, let me also, this was in trillion, so let me convert it into CR. Okay, all right. Okay, so from 320 something revenue, they'll do 475 something revenue 5 years from now. All right, so this is again pretty close to the 500 CR number that we arrived at using our bottom-up estimation. Okay, and again, we are being conservative all through, in my opinion. All right, okay. So this is the RCM ka revenue estimation. So see, if I go back to the investor presentation, okay, Abhi, what we did, we've estimated revenue for retail cash management. हमने ये छोड़ दिया है, but you know, this is like a this is anyway, this is small, but we've kind of estimated revenue for retail cash management, this this segment. Okay, now the other segment is cash van operations. Okay, so let's look at उसका revenue अभी कितना कर रहे हैं और कितना कर सकते हैं by. So if you look at the Q2 earnings call transcript, what they are saying is they are actually investing. They believe that cash van operations would be a big driver for growth, okay, in the years to come. Okay, so this is important to note. Okay, now with that point, let's look at cash van operations. I've already done some pre-work ahead of time. Okay, so cash vans, they have around 100 vans dedicated, you know, for say banks to use to transfer their money from one branch to the other. Okay, and in return they charge some fee. Okay, so 100 vans have been deployed for that purpose in FY23, were deployed for that purpose in FY23, and from each they made around 21 lakh of annual revenue. Okay, now they don't tell you ki kitna vans they would have say 5 years from now for this business vertical. And since we saw that they are actually quite optimistic about this vertical, they are actually doubling down on this vertical. So let's say that from 100 it will be 180 vans 5 years from now. It could be 200, it could be any number, we do not know. Okay, but it will certainly be much higher than 100. Okay, so for just conversation's sake, for just estimation's sake, let's say 180, they'll have 180 vans 5 years from now. And if they earn the same amount of money, almost same amount of money which they're making now from each van, then from 21 CR ka revenue now, they would be around at 40 CR from this business vertical. Okay, all right. Now let's go to the investor presentation again. Okay. Sorry, there's a system. My system is not responding. This bullshit is not responding. See, the third segment that we need to look at, which they are foraying into now, is the DBJ, or the diamond bullion jewelry segment. Okay, so until now they are in the logistics of cash. Okay, movement of cash, but now they are foraying into the movement of jewelry, diamond bullion and jewelry movement as well, and their customers would be jewelers. Okay, let's look at the total market for this segment and also try to estimate how much revenue they can do from this segment 5 years from now. Okay, let's do that. All right, so my system took forever to restart. I'm back. So let's estimate the market size of this new business segment. That is the movement of valuables, that is diamond bullion and jewelry.
Okay, so if you look at the snippet that I've highlighted here, and this is the earnings call transcript from Q2 for this company. Okay, so if you look at the snippet that I've highlighted, there are two major players which operate in this segment. Okay, and in India, there are around 1,35,000 registered or BIS hallmark jewelers. BIS money, Bureau of Indian Standard hallmark jewelers. There are around 1,35,000. Okay, and out of this, currently this service of valuable logistics, of logistics is being offered to only 10,000 of them. Okay, so there is a lot of scope in this segment. Okay, all right. And for this company, Radiant Cash Management, okay, they are doing cash management services for 1,000 of these 1,35,000. Okay, so this 1,000 of them, low hanging fruit would be to offer these 1,000 retailers DBJ logistics as well. Okay, all right. So now, with this information, let's look at the total addressable market for this segment. Yeah. So I spoke with a couple of my retailer friends. Okay. And what they told me, and again, being very conservative, okay, that every month, okay, let's say there are 3 shipments coming in for a retailer. Okay. Let's say there are 3 shipments coming in, okay, every month, and the value of each of these shipments, let's say, is 10 lakh. Okay, all right. And again, this is being conservative. And so the service charge that these retailers, jewelry retailers, they need to pay to these logistic companies, okay, is around 0.6 to 0.8% of the value of goods. Okay, that is being reported. So let's take 0.75% ले लेते हैं. Okay, so this is month का, and then times 12. अगर times 12 कर लेते हैं तो per jewelry retailer per year, this comes to be, for an average jeweler, okay, this is 2,70,000 rupees. Okay, so matlab these logistic companies, okay, they can make around 2,70,000 per year from each jewelry retailer. And again, this is being conservative. Okay, so अगर टोटल मार्केट पोटेंशियल, टोटल एड्रेसेबल मार्केट की बात करें, टोटल TAM की बात करें, okay, अगर these 1,35,000 retailers, they start taking this service, okay, तो अगर मल्टीप्लाई कर दें with 2.7 lakh, okay, then this comes around 3 lakh, 3,600 CR. So this is the total addressable market with this calculation. And, I may be way far off, okay, because this is just an assumption, okay, based upon the inputs that I got from my jewelry retailer friends. Okay, and actual numbers were very hard to find. And if in case you have a sense of good numbers, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to change my my estimates. All right. Okay. So any which ways, now, so this is the TAM for this company. Okay, for this segment. Now, अगर अभी हम बात करें कि अगर ये 1,000 रिटेलर्स, ये जो 1,000 रिटेलर हैं, इनको अगर एक्वायर कर लेते हैं ये लोग नेक्स्ट ईयर, ओके, दैट इज FY25, ओके, तो 1,000 रिटेलर्स टाइम्स 2,70,000, तो जो FY25 में जो रेवेन्यू कर लेंगे फ्रॉम दिस सेगमेंट वुड बी अराउंड 27 CR. And by FY29, 5 years from now, let's say अभी 1,000 रिटेलर्स के साथ काम करेंगे, let's say 5,000 रिटेलर्स के साथ काम करेंगे. Okay, all right. Okay, तो अगर 5,000 रिटेलर के साथ ये लोग, they are able to work, okay, then the revenue would be 5 times this, right? So it would be around like 140 CR, mota maths. Okay, so 5 years out, they would be able to do like 140 CR revenue from this segment. In fact, the MD of this company, the management is too optimistic. They've gone on to say that by FY27 itself, they may be able to do 250 to 300 CR from this segment. Okay, but again, I am being conservative. Okay, okay, क्योंकि मुझे अगर ये कंपनी अंडर वैल्यूड लगी तो मैं खुद अपने पैसे डालूंगा, तो मुझे ओवरली ऑप्टिमिस्टिक नंबर्स नहीं डालने. ऑलराइट, ओके. So this is for DBJ segment. All right. And one thing more. So I did look at an organized player in this segment, which is not listed. And the name of the company is Sequel. यहाँ पे लिख दूं मैं Sequel. Okay. So Sequel is into valuable logistics. In fact, my friend told me that they also use Sequel. Right now, this industry is very unorganized. Okay. So they use Angadiyas. ये अंगड़िया एक अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट है. तो जो ज्यादातर रिटेलर्स लोकल व्यापारी या अंगड़िया यूज करते हैं ये मूवमेंट ऑफ ऑफ शिपमेंट ऑफ दीज वैल्यूएबल आइटम्स. लेकिन और सीक्वल भी यूज करते हैं. तो अगर ये कंपनी आ जाती है तो वो थोड़ा अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट थोड़ा ऑर्गेनाइज होने लगेगा. ऑलराइट, ऑलराइट, ओके. सो दिस इज वन इन्फॉर्मेशन. एंड बाय द वे, सो दिस सीक्वल कंपनी आई लुक्ड एट 3 साल पहले तक फ्रॉम दिस सेगमेंट they did revenue of around 200 to 20 CR. Okay, ये 3 साल पहले का नंबर है. All right, okay. Any which ways, so any which way, this is just to kind of put things in context कि हम कितने I do not know कि what's the scale of their operation, but they are pretty big in this segment. All right, अब तो और ज़्यादा करने लगे होंगे revenue. All right. Now, see, so we've looked at. So if I go back to the investor presentation. All right. So now, so if you see, we've estimated the revenue potential for this company 5 years out for retail cash management. We have done that for cash fund operations, and we've also done that for DBJ. Okay. All right. We just did that. All right. So to summarize, retail cash management say around 500 CR 5 years out. From cash fund operations, we estimate around 40 CR, and from this new segment DBJ, okay, we estimated around 140 CR. Okay, so this total is around what, 680 CR in FY29. Okay, all right. And if you look at this note, यहाँ पे लिखा है excludes diamond bullion jewelry segment and ace money. Okay, ace money तो हमने डिस्कस ही नहीं किया. So in fact, ace money, okay, let me talk about ace money just for a bit. So ace money, the acquisition they did, earlier this financial year. Okay, so in ace money, if you see, okay, so this fintech, this specializes, and just let me highlight this. Fintech specializes in providing state-of-the-art digital banking solutions in the rural areas. Okay, and this is the services that solutions that this fintech provides. Mobile banking, micro insurance, micro ATMs, etc., etc. All right. So ये rural areas के लिए है. All right. So इससे भी this company expects कि through this acquisition they'll be able to make some revenue as well. Okay, because they have a very solid footprint in the rural areas. Okay, so इस fintech company के products वो लोग distribute कर पाएंगे rural areas में और उससे थोड़ा revenue कमा पाएंगे. That I'm not getting into the modeling and total market size of that segment. Okay, all right, because I've not done that ahead of time and will require some more research. So I'm just excluding that, for now. All right. Okay. So अभी हमने देखा. So what we saw. Okay. So what we saw until now is that we estimate the revenue potential for 3 segments. Okay. And abhi right now FY23 May they did around 350 CR worth of revenue. Okay. And 5 years out, 5 years from now, they could be at they could potentially double their revenue. So we estimate 680 CR worth of revenue or almost 700 worth of revenue 5 years from now. Okay, all right, and we have excluded the revenue that they may be able to make from ace money for now. All right, okay. Now before we get to the valuation of this company using our estimates, all right, first let's let's talk, because this is a small company, so it's very important that we study the management. We study the management quality. Okay, management के बारे में थोड़ा देख लेते हैं from their investor presentation and from their annual report. Okay, all right, so let's do that. क्योंकि जितना भी एस्टिमेशन किसी फायदे का नहीं है, कुछ वैल्यूएशन कोई फायदे का नहीं है अगर स्मॉल कंपनीज के लिए स्पेशली, अगर मैनेजमेंट में देयर आर some gaping holes, some flaws, some red flags. All right, so it's very important that we look at the management quality of small businesses specifically. All right, so let's do that.